Tories rally against assault troop cuts and demand spending boost to combat terrorism. A group of MPs have signed a letter calling for Britain's landing forces to be protected from any further cuts. Former Army officer Johnny Mercer said, "We have drawn up a red line on the strength and capability of our armed forces. At some stage you have to stand up for what you believe in, and we have reached that point now. I'm pleased so many of my colleagues agree." Mr. Mercer drew up the letter, which attracted signatures of 25 Tory MPs. The letter said the concerned MPs were not prepared to see any more reductions to the Royal Marines or the fleet of amphibious assault ships held by the Royal Navy. It calls for extra spending to combat the rising risk from ISIS and Russia as world tensions grow. The size of the group is more than enough to threaten the government's majority, putting pressure on Defence Secretary Gavin Williamson and Prime Minister Theresa May. The letter will hit plans announced in the budget for the military to make up a £2 billion a year shortfall. Current plans for savings would see 1,000 Royal Marines cut and the UK's only 2 Beachlanders sold. The MP's dramatic stand comes as Vladimir Putin ordered an increase in the size of his armed forces amid growing tensions with the West and the threat of World War III. The Russian leader announced via state media his military would be bolstered with an additional 100,000 service personnel. The reinforcements bring the size of Russia's armed forces to 1.9 million, including more than 1 million active troops. The announcement comes as Russia continues to exert its influence over Eastern Europe, and the prospect of a conflict on the Korean peninsula looms over East Asia. Thousands of NATO troops are currently deployed in Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania to counter the possibility of a Russian invasion. And Kremlin forces continue to operate in Ukraine as the bloody civil war in the former Soviet state approaches its 4th year. Putin has presided over a multi-billion-dollar modernization program of the Russian military in recent years.